Hi, good morning. Welcome to Between the Barn Aisle. I'm Teresa Huff. If you're tuning back in for our second video, or if you're new to our channel, thank you so much for watching. I will link our first video here so you can go back to watch that if you are new and get an introduction to what our channel is all about. But for today, we're going to do a barn tour. I'm going to show you where all the day-to-day happens, and it'll give you a good idea as we go through this journey and a visual of when I talk about certain areas of the barn, where those are and what they look like. So let's get started. Right here, this is the lower barn, and this is where we do most of our filming from, is here. So we'll take you in here. You're already familiar with this is our barn aisle. I'll introduce you to the horses in another video. But this is our tack room, or I should say my tack room for the lower barn. This is where I keep my tack. Then we have in here is our feed room, an extra storage space, but our supplements get made up in here. This used to be a barn where we had a lesson program, which we don't have anymore, but this was where they kept all of their tack, and their feed was here. And since not having the lesson program, now it's converted to my tack room because I never had one. So I would actually just tie my horses to the trailer. I would leave my stuff in the horse trailer, and that's how I tacked up. So now I have my own space, which is really fun. I like that a lot. This is the area where we spend a lot of time talking all things horses. So it's our hangout. We do have a washer and dryer for our boarders to use. And we have another tack area, also my medicine cabinet. So I keep all my stuff in here for that. And we have a bathroom. And this is all heated in the winter time, this area. And then we try to keep it, we're getting an air conditioner to keep it cooler in the summertime. We also have a dehumidifier, which very handy as the humidity has gotten worse here in Maine. So that really keeps the mold from getting on any of our tack. Come on, the puppies have to follow. Gotta have barn dogs. Now we're gonna move on up to the upper barn. So a little bit of just background. This barn here was the original barn for the house. And then this, actually what we're going into now, was the arena for the original house, and was converted to this to the barn, and really had lots of upgrades. And when they did the upgrades and they made all the improvements, they really thought it through and made it very easy to take care of horses. This is where all of our boarded horses live, is up here. We have a wash rack with hot and cold water for them to bathe their horses throughout the summer and cool them down when it's really hot. They can give them some nice cool baths. So there's 8 stalls, 8.5, as we have a little guy who lives in here. And they have areas to hang up their blankets.
Yes. Yeah. Right? Because Toby's not country.
A calendar here. This is our feed room in here. Where all of the horses' feed get mixed and kept and get prepped to feed. Clients will leave supplement bags, or they have little containers that they put their supplements in for their horses, and then we put them in the grain. And these are our grain containers that we have so that it keeps rats and mice out. You know, as much as you try to keep them out, it's a barn, it happens, and you just manage it the best way that you can. I am going to turn this fan on because it's very humid in here. So to try to keep some of the moisture down, it helps to have the fan going. I have this sink, so we do soak water with, soak water. We soak the grain with hot water, which we're able to do through the summer. And then we have a big coffee pot that we heat the water in and use during the winter. This is our board where it has all the horses' names, and then it has all their AM and PM grain, and then any special notes. So this is for the staff to be able to manage that. Or we hope for this to be a way that if anybody walked in, they would be able to make grain just by looking at that. This has been a really big change for the barn that my husband did. This has been really, really helpful. So when we walk in, the lights just come on automatically and then shut off after a few minutes. And I'll show you here. This here is what we used to have. The timers, which they are great, but what we found is they were getting older that they just wouldn't turn off. Hi, this is Adrian. Say hello. And here's where we have some storage and keep all of the extra run over of buckets. Our winter buckets go in here, and then we switch out those for our summer buckets. All our pitchforks, just one of those things you do this and you don't look at it. This door here goes to the arena, the indoor arena, which we'll go through in just a second. But our boarders who have their horses up here, this is their tack room here. Again, my husband put in a light that just comes on automatically, so it's been very nice, and it is heated in the winter time, but stays really cool with the cement floor. Very nice and cool in here compared to outside. And then this is our beautiful hay from our fields. Again, I have to shout out to my husband who works tirelessly to make this happen. And I think it's probably one of the best crops that he's had. I think he's gotten over 1,500 bales out of our field this year. And we'll go into another video about hay because that's a subject all by itself. But we're very excited about that. And this is all the way back to the back of the barn is our hay storage. And then so the horses who live up here, they get taken out and they come out to what we call the side paddocks. They have these sheds for their run-ins, and then they have a small paddock area that we can keep them in. So if the weather is bad and in the winter, they kind of stay in this area that they have here. But then as you can see, they have a pasture area here, and then they have a bigger pasture area up in the back. So, and they're individual. We only have 10 horses that are boarded. And so we keep it small so that they can have turnouts. We don't have herds out together. I just think it's safer. They're not beating each other up. Nobody's going to get kicked and get hurt, cause a vet bill. I'll just show you really quickly in one of the sheds so you get an idea of the size of them, because they're pretty big, just to give you an idea. Hi, Ghosty. And so they have plenty of room to be able to move around and get out of the weather. And it's 2 Frisians who live in here, so get turned out in here, so they have plenty of space. Hi, buddy. You say hello? Hi. That's Ghost. I do want to just touch, this doesn't have anything to do with the facility as far as showing you around, but I do have to show you that we started this garden this year doing in hay bales, and we'll do another video on that, but I just wanted to show you that it's really doing well, and we're finding that we like that a lot. Not having to bend down on the ground and clean up all the weeds is probably quite helpful for us, so we like that a lot. Have more of the garden over here. I didn't want you to think we only had one by the poop pile. We do have more set up over here, and this is a first year doing this. If any of you have any experience with growing a garden in hay bales, please leave us a comment below on what you found worked or didn't work, or how you set it up, because it's all new to us, so we're learning as we go. This here is our equipment barn, and this is the back of the barn where where we were on the hay on the other side, and this is just the other side of that, and the more hay storage that goes in all the way back to this back side of the barn. What would you say? Ken's doing some filming for me. So what would you say we do 3,500 bales, or we need 3,500 bales for the year to feed all our horses? We might get a couple thousand out of our fields between first and second cut, which is very exciting. So it cuts the hay bill down a lot. As you know, hay prices are going right now here in Maine. You can get a bale of hay first cut, I think around $8 a bale, depending. And they usually only weigh 45 pounds if you're lucky. This is the backside of our indoor arena, and this is where we have more turnout for the couple of the horses that live inside, and then we have a couple of horses that live out here full-time. They're outside border horses. They also have shed, and they have a nice long run. And this horse here has a gate up at the top where she gets to go out in a field, in a pasture. I lost my microphone about right here, and I didn't realize it until I was back in editing the video. I decided to do a voiceover, so I'm going to walk you through. What we're doing is just going from the back of the barn back to the front, showing you the outdoor arena area, round pen that we have, the hay fields. We have 77 acres total. I think 35 are hayed. We have the big front field, and then we have a couple of fields up in the back. And then we're going to take you around and go into the indoor, where a lot of time is spent during the winter, bad weather in the summer. When this arena was built, very thoughtful for the horses. The footing is Tack footing. It has like mattress fibers in it, so it takes the shock out for the horses, really absorbs all of that impact for them. Those are just toys that we have, obstacles for the horses. We do use a little bit of storage in the back area there, you can see. But when they put this arena together, they also thought really through. It's like 190 by 85, and then it also has, you'll see here, these little areas, these flap up, and there's water spigots under there to be able to water the arena. Here we go into the viewing room. When people have guests that want to watch them ride, they can hang out in here. Stays really cool in the summer and heated in the winter. Palmer is very hot. It's a hot day that we were doing this. We keep coffee, some popcorn, hot chocolate, water in the fridge there. It's a great place to hang out and have lunch when we're doing lessons. We'll take a break and do that. This, of course, is a catch-all storage space. I think every barn has. When you can't find a place to put something, this is where it ends up. I think it could be repurposed for something better use, but for now, it just takes all of our stuff. Well, that ends our barn tour. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed a glimpse around the farm. Drop a comment below of your favorite spot, and don't forget to hit our subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos. And if you like the tour, give it a thumbs up. We'll see you next time between the barn aisle.